Welcome to the Julian and GK podcast.
And it's true.
The next Jammy here. So for the next Jammy, let's go into let's do album of the year. And this was 2020, of course, sucked. We all know that. But one thing that 2020 gave us was great music. This was probably the hardest category for me because there were so many great albums this year. But for you, GK, what was your 2020 album of the year? Who are you giving your 2020 Jammy album of the year to?
You know what? I think you should go first because you're not going to be ready for my picks.
Okay.
You school the public on all the music because you're not going to be ready. I'm about to.
You're going to blow my mind.
Something that you wouldn't think that I would say.
All right. I'm gonna list down some honorable mentions to you. And like I said, this was a great year for music. So I had a lot. All right. So the first one, Color Theory by Soccer Mommy. If you're not listening to Soccer Mommy, you need to be listening to her. That's some great music. Chromatica by Lady Gaga. Music to Get Murdered to by Eminem. Good News by Megan Thee Stallion. A Written Testimony by Jay Electronica. He made us wait for that album. That album was worth it. Eternal Attack by Lil Uzi Vert. Fetch the Bolt Cutters by Fiona Apple. Chilumbo by Janae Aiko. The New Abnormal by The Strokes. Slime and Bee by Chris Brown and Young Thug. Plastic Hearts by Miley Cyrus. Women in Music by Haim. City on Lock by City Girls. Can I just say, I love the City Girls. The City Girls are super ratchet. All their music is about nothing but scamming and having sex and being ridiculous, and I love it. I love the City Girls. So City on Lock, Folklore by Taylor Swift, which was I'm not even a huge Taylor Swift fan, but that album was fantastic. Run the Jewels 4 by Run the Jewels. Run the Jewels always comes out with great music. So that had to be my pick. That had to be one of my runner-ups. But the winner...
You're not throwing Evermore in there? She dropped 2 albums. Taylor not playing.
Yeah, Evermore was great. But, Folklore was my joint. I was listening to Folklore, front to back for a couple of weeks there when it first came out.
Am I the only Evermore dude?
Evermore is good. Maybe I just need more time to digest it because it just, came out. So I listened to it maybe 3 times through. I got to give it a couple more listens, and then I'll be on the Evermore train. But
that's fair.
Yeah, the one I had to give my Jammy to, and this is I did not see this coming when I first downloaded this album. I was like,
I know where you're going.
do you? I don't think so.
I know where you're going.
Because I'm even surprised I picked them because this is a group. See?
Wow. You've shocked me again.
See? And this is what I'm saying. I did not know I was going to pick them. I downloaded this album, and when I first listened to it, I was like, oh, this is a good album. And I liked it a lot, but I moved on. But then I would keep listening to it over and over, and I was like, yo, this album is the album of the year. This is the best album I've heard all year. I listened to it front and back, and you're not going to guess this, because I didn't even know. I came up with this last night, and it just hit me as an epiphany. Yes, that's my favorite album of 2020.
It's better be good, man, because this is usually the category where we get the most contentious. So this better be good, man.
My favorite album, my 2020 Jammy album of the year goes to Ungodly Hour by Chloe and Haley. Chloe and Haley are some insanely talented young women. And this album, the more and more I listened to it, I was like, this album is amazing. This album is a classic album. It's from front to back. Every song is great. Their harmonies, their vocals, it's fantastic. Ungodly Hour, Chloe and Haley, 2020 Jammy album of the year.
All right. And this is how we do it. Yeah, it's I still love him from Grownish. But it's man, you're not gonna catch me talking nothing negative about Chloe and Halle. Hell no.
Yes.
Them young queens, chill. Especially while I think they're both single. I hope.
You know what I mean? Chloe definitely. I think so.
Yeah, man. Maybe we got a shot. Sorry, lady. This is just what men do. Even when we got no shot, it's just nice to act like we do or think that we do. Just find that little spot somewhere in here where it can be realistic.
Yes.
And if they're single, it's not impossible. See what I'm saying?
Yes. Exactly. You got to think it. Yes.
Exactly, man. Got to put it into the universe. Know what I mean? But yeah, I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to pick my runner up because until you said it was a group, you were saying all the same things. I mean, like, yeah, there were a lot of good albums that I'm not gonna say they flew under the radar, but I'm just saying, man, there was just so much going on this year.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough of an escape, and it wasn't right, and it didn't describe the vibe and the history of the moment and the years.
Yeah.
So that's why for this music, it's not gonna, there's just too much going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like Black Thought, man.
Oh,
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
That Black Thought album. Yeah.
The Weeknd. The Grammys didn't give him his props. Like even the Kid Cudi album. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like,
the Kid Cudi album was dope.
Yeah, that turned out to be an enjoyable listen.
Mm-hmm.
But my Jammy is going to somebody that you wouldn't think that I would give a Jammy to. And when I say that this dude dominated the entire year, this dude dominated the entire year. Mm-hmm. And just when you thought that he couldn't, they just kept pulling more hits from the same album. Like, remember last year when your album of the year was Ed Sheeran?
Yep.
His collaboration joint.
Yep.
Because it wasn't like an album; it was like a mix. It was like a mixtape of hits.
Yep.
Now it's just kind of it's still kind of sad and melancholy. But like when I first heard this dude, I'm like he had I think 2 songs, and they both sounded exactly the same. So I'm like, there's even a new song, CJ Whoopty, which is just like, I'm like, you're just trying to be this dude.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we lost this brother in January at just 20 years old.
Yeah.
But Pop Smoke, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon.
Yeah.
Especially if you live in New York and if you're a hip hop head.
Yeah.
To me, that's the album of the year by far. Because that dude was on the radio. And if he would have been even bigger if there were still clubs. And around the world there still are. And they're blasting him. Yeah.
That's a great
pick, coming,
man.
and we didn't know.
Yeah.
And 50 Cent saw it, so he made sure to be one of the producers on the album. And it's kind of like Get Rich or Die Trying to me. It's almost like, what if your first album is your greatest hits?
Yeah, it's true.
I think that dude, at only 20 years old, it's unfortunate circumstances, but I think he's gonna live forever. And I think when this, and not to play comparisons or anything, but unfortunately, we've lost a lot of young, talented brothers. XXX Extension and
Juice WRLD,
who was the most streamed artist in the U.S. on Spotify this year.
Yep.
So, but Pop Smoke was everywhere.
Yeah.
And not only was he everywhere, that dude had versatility. That dude, he was fun. He knew who he was. He knew his sound. He was bringing something different. He was bringing New York back.
Yeah.
He was representing the young generation, and he garnered a lot of respect from the old heads and the legends, and he was on his way.
Yeah,
he was on his way. Those first 2 songs were just a warning.
Yep.
But yeah, his album, I'll never forget his album. I'll never forget that this was his year to me. So Pop Smoke, rest in power, Pop Smoke.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I thought you were going. I thought you were going to choose Busta.
Oh yeah. Oh, I did forget about Busta's album. I'm still going with Chloe and Haley, but Busta's album was it's like the fact that he came back after such a long layoff and created like probably one of the top 5 hip hop albums of the year. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, there's so many other like there was Alfredo that came out that like Freddie Gibbs. You had Benny the Butcher that came. Like this was a really good year for hip hop also. But everything you said about Pop Smoke is true. When Pop Smoke, I knew of Pop Smoke. I'd heard other songs of him before he passed away, and I thought his stuff was good. But when this album came out, it made me really sad because I was like, this dude was the next DMX. Like, in my mind, I thought that he was going to be the equivalent of what DMX was in the 90s for us because he came with, like, the gutter rap. He had the song for the ladies. He had a little bit of everything that was constantly going to be on the radio. And I was like, man, it made me sad because I realized once I heard that album, like I knew Pop Smoke was good, but that album made me realize he was going to be he was going to be a legend. He was on his way to being like one of the top 5 rappers in the game. And like, so for him to get taken so soon, it's tragic. Same with Juice WRLD, same with Mac Miller, same with all these dudes that were on their way to becoming like big names in hip hop. and they're just like gone too soon. So I mean, that's a great choice, man. That Pop Smoke album was great.
And you could tell by the samples, like he was a true student of the game, bro. Like
Yeah,
this sky was the limit for him, man.
yeah,
But
definitely.
that's the beauty of great art, man. I think he's immortalized. I think
Yeah,
you throw him in that Kurt Cobain, like I think
yep.
he just did it in 1 year, one album.
Yeah, great artists live forever, man. Like it doesn't matter. Like if there will still be people listening to that album 20, 30 years from now, the same way that there's still people who listen to Biggie's albums now. And even though he's been gone for over 23 years at this point, and people still listen to him because great music always stands out. So we've come, GK, we've come to the final jammy of the evening. This is the one that you've all come here for, ladies and gentlemen. This one is for the MVP of 2020. And MVP, it could be a person, it could be a thing, it could be an event, it could be anything. It could be, this is like what is pretty much what's most going to be remembered about 2020 for us. Like whether it be a person, place, thing, whatever. So, GK, who are you giving your 2020 MVP Jammy to?
Whew. The biggest jammy of the year, of the night. First of all, and also send us your comments. Send us your questions. Whatever you got. Whatever feedback you got. Like, we do this for y'all. Honestly, believe in that, because this is, again, we're all trying to do this thing called life together as best we can, and this is part of it, man. If I think 2020 has taught and retaught a lot of us that just the importance of us existing together and how useful we are when we actually are together. You know,
Yeah.
like I say, we ain't gotta be soulmates, but we gotta be roommates.
Yeah, definitely.
And the better roommates we are, you know what I mean? The better we can live together. You know what I'm saying? So, so usually we try to, we have our own personal preference and bias, whatever you want to call it. But it's also, we keep in, as you can tell, we keep in mind the people. What society says, because that's what pop culture does. That's what the arts do. That's what TV does. That's what sports does.
Yep.
But everybody struggled in their own different ways. Everybody's different. So we're not expecting y'all to agree with us. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you did or whatever song or show or movie, album or sports moment, or whoever fell off to you, like that's you, and like that's how it should be. That's cool. You know what I mean? Like, we all have rights to give James this year. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever we had to do to make it to the end, like, we still here, we still standing. So whatever you did, clearly it worked. And thank you for still being here with us. And don't worry. Next year we got this. Let's get it. So my MVP. All right, there are some nominees. There was a lot of good done this year. So LeBron, that goes without saying. Fourth championship, third Finals MVP with a third different team, never been done before. And that's just the short list of his accolades that continues to grow.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it right now. He signed a 2-year extension with the Lakers. Not only do I hope he keeps winning, but at the end of his 2 years, his oldest son, Bronny, is going to be old enough to be eligible to join the NBA. So his ultimate dream is to be in the league at the same time as his son. How dope would that be?
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
And let's not even shortchange him off the court. You know what I mean? Everything he did with more than a vote for voter suppression. He just opened I Promise houses. So not just the school. Now he gave them all free housing for the students and the families. That dude that dude gets it. And if he goes down as the leader of our generation, like Muhammad Ali, Bill Russell, Jim Brown, and all them before him, he is more than worthy of it.
Yeah.
So LeBron, thank you, bro. But if I gave you my Jammy, you'd be my all-time Jammy leader with like my third or fourth Jammy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. We can't let you win everything.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So we got to spread it out. Spread the love. Michael Jordan, man. Yes, The Last Dance, of course, but this dude finally stepped up off the court. You know what I mean? Given $100 million, $10 million a year to fight racism and social injustice. Sponsoring Bubba Wallace. So now we have a black NASCAR owner. Sponsoring NASCAR's only full-time black driver. and just the way he stepped up for the Bryants.
Mm-hmm.
You know, still one of my lasting images of him. So
Yeah.
shout out to his airness. If you don't know how big BTS is, that's your fault.
Yeah, they
Those
are
dudes,
everywhere.
they run the world, bro.
Yeah.
And man, they got Korea hijacking American hashtags.
Yep.
You know, like it's and shout out to all of them. The best part of my day is when not my day, but I'll never forget my dad is watching the Time Magazine Awards and BTS is named Entertainer of the Year. And then I finally get a WhatsApp from my dad saying, "Man, are they all Asian?" Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty sure that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now are they all Korean? Are they all Asian? It's like, man, they're on beat, man. They're on beat, sure. But yeah. So even he likes Dynamite.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle was always right on time.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he had something to say, he was right on time, and always has a way to not sugarcoat nothing, but say what you need to hear,
Mm-hmm.
and say it in a way that you will digest it, no matter how harsh it is.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dave Chappelle, for still being the truth teller. Thank you to just TV and sports in general, man. Like the bubble, all the talk show hosts, especially in the beginning when they were trying to figure out how to create content. In the beginning, well, I did a play via Zoom. You know what I mean? Like people,
Yeah.
the ingenuity of these industries.
Yeah.
You know, and it's gonna continue. Like it's gonna continue. Like OnlyFans, Clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like TV, sports, social media. They did a lot of good.
Yeah.
So they stay winning, and they did a lot for us in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads to the younger generation who I gave my mid-year Jammy to.
Mm-hmm.
But they did their part. All the social media, the organizing, the marching, the protesting, the giving up of the information.
Yeah.
And even during the whole tense time during election week, bro, when Nevada couldn't count,
Yeah.
when Nevada was really milking their spotlight as if they deserved that kind of spotlight in time and they couldn't count nothing, the memes
Yes.
came out during that time, and I was on pins, needles, and glass that whole week. I wasn't
Yeah.
sleeping. I kept watching the election coverage as if
Yes.
something was going to change overnight, and I knew damn
Yes.
well it wasn't.
Exactly.
I knew I was falling right into every news outlet's hands.
Yep.
Dog, man, like just seeing like if Nevada was a person, then a picture of Lauryn Hill popping up, or like. But the most perfect meme I've probably ever seen. It's not even a meme; it's a video, but. Because everything is about how Nevada is slow at counting these votes.
Yeah.
And they ain't got a lot of people, so they have no reason to be this slow.
Yeah.
A young person did this. And this young person didn't even realize how perfect of a job they were going to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
How perfect of a joke, of a video can you get about counting slow by just putting up saying, Nevada counting votes be like, and then have a clip of Brian McKnight back at one. Because they weren't alive and around when that song was the bop.
Yes.
And the video was the bop. We were all in clubs talking about one, you like a dream come true. And then all that for like you sing it for 2 minutes, and then at the end of the hook, and we'll start back at one. Like that was so perfect.
Yes, it was.
And it checked all the boxes, So younger generation, again, I don't give you much props because I don't want to.
Yes.
And quite frankly, you know what I mean? Y'all ain't earned it. But 2020, the good you did, thank you. You know what I mean? Because that's, you've taken the baton, the torch. Thank you.
Yeah.
And just black women excellence, man.
Mm-hmm.
They're the backbone of this democracy. They stepped up and proved it again. Shout out to Stacey Abrams, just to name a few, and Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
She's the first, and she damn sure won't be the last because she is the first. So,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Representing us too.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, big up. But my MVP of 2020, and I don't see how Time Magazine got this wrong. I mean, to me, it's obvious. All the healthcare and frontline workers, all the essential workers, delivery people, the postal people, everybody that had to be out there and didn't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
They are by far the MVPs in 2020.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
All the jammies, flowers, love, support. not even just at 7 o'clock, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like now and forever. The work and the sacrifice
Mm-hmm.
that y'all did for more people than you'll ever know.
Mm-hmm.
Just hopefully some of y'all watching this and just know that you will never be, even when the pots stop clanging and people stop clapping out their windows at 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all will never be forgotten. So
Yeah.
this is 2020 is all about y'all. Thank you.
Yeah.
And they get my final Jammy.
Yeah. This might be I don't know if this is the first in Jammy history, but this I got to agree with you, man. Like my mid-year Jammy went to New York Governor Andrew Cuomo because I felt like
Yeah.
he was one of the few effective leaders during this that actually told people what to do and how to do it and whatever. And he was still doing that like in the second part, but it's just like I feel like in the first part of the pandemic he was like at the forefront. He was like basically the face of common sense during the first part of the pandemic. But yeah,
now we got half a year, but now it's been half a year since then.
Exactly. So now it's like I couldn't give it to him again because even though I think that he's still being an effective.
Shout out to Dr. Fauci too.
Oh yeah, Dr. Fauci. Yes, of course. So it's like I feel like Cuomo was an effective leader during the first half, and he's still doing a great job. But the only people that the MVP could go to are the frontline workers for 2020 because like GK said, it's like they're the ones that helped America to keep running even through this pandemic. And I'm talking about of course the nurses and the doctors and all the people in the hospitals that were incredibly overwhelmed and honestly putting their lives on the line to make sure that they're helping others because they're around this contagious disease every day. Not only are they putting themselves at risk, they're putting their families at risk. Sometimes they wouldn't even be able to see their families because they specifically distance themselves from their families to make sure they didn't expose their families to the virus in case they did get it, since the virus is so contagious. So all the sacrifice that they did can never be repaid. All the delivery people, when there were people out there during the first days of the pandemic, my beautiful wife Jen and I, we were terrified to go outside. Because it's like you're reading the news. I mean, you're watching the news. You're reading and you're seeing every day people just dying, and you have no idea. Especially in the early days of the pandemic, you have no idea how this thing is being transmitted. You have a general kind of thought in your brain, but people. It was like there was one point when people were like, "Oh, the masks aren't effective," or "Oh, this every day you were getting new information, and it wasn't until later on, maybe like months in, that they started to be like, "Okay, masks help prevent the spread of it." Sanitizing your hand, doing and then we kind of had a blueprint for what to do to try to avoid catching the virus. But those early days, no one had any idea how to do it. So my wife and I, we were terrified to go anywhere. So the delivery people are what saved us. So whenever we didn't have we would order stuff from Instacart, and they would bring groceries to our door so that we can cook and have stuff in the house. If we wanted takeout, if we needed stuff for the house, we could order it off of Amazon or order it from different websites to get the stuff that we needed for the house, for work, and for stuff when we were working from home. So it's just like the frontline workers, they're the essential people. And it's like after this whole thing is over, I hope that people don't just forget what these people did for us. I hope that everyone's so grateful for the delivery people now. We're so grateful to nurses now. Remember that when this is over, because it's easy to forget. When this is over and everything goes back to normal, hopefully sooner than later, still be nice to that delivery person that's coming to it. Still say thank you to that nurse when you have to go, whatever. Don't go back to treating them the way that we did before, where we just kind of dismissed them and just took what they did for granted. The grocery store workers, don't go back to forgetting all the stuff that they did, that they were there in the midst of it, helping people check out to get their groceries, restocking those shelves to make sure that you had enough food for your family, during this time. Please, let's not go back to how we were before. Let's remember how this is and be as grateful as we are now to them in the future when this is over.
Yes. And please keep supporting small businesses. Please support your hospitality workers, man. I mean, I don't know how people were rude to waiters and waitresses and bartenders, but all that before this. But
yeah,
come on, man. We all needed barbershops, dry clean, you name it. They all need it. The metro workers, you name it, man. It's just, come on, man.
Yeah,
you're right, man. That's what 2020 is. But it's really been about us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, really more
Absolutely.
them because they're essential
Yes.
for a reason. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's been about the human spirit, man. It's about
Yeah.
human integrity and what we can take and what we can come back from.
Mhm.
That's what this year
Agreed.
really is.
Agreed.
You know? Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, man. And
So
yeah, I
that
think we covered most of it, man. I mean,
yeah.
there were other things. You know, I can't see we didn't do the best newcomer because then I could have finally given verses its flowers. You know,
Oh well, who's your best newcomer, GK? We
it's
could throw that
verses,
in.
man. It's
Yeah.
verses. What
Yeah.
I can't think of any more cultural phenomenal necessary 2020 invention than
Yeah.
verses.
I mean, that's Versus is a fantastic pick. It was like whatever. My 2020 newcomer isn't really a newcomer. It's been around forever, like for a while. But this year, everyone knows what the hell it is, and it's Zoom. What are we doing right now, GK? We're on Zoom recording this podcast.
Yeah,
Like, there's so many
yeah,
meetings
yeah.
that I had for work, that my wife had for work, that like so many people. Nobody knew what the hell a Zoom was before 2020. Like we all knew about Skype, we know about
Right.
FaceTime, we know about all that. Nobody knew what the hell Zoom was. Like I've been at work meetings before 2020 that use video conferencing. We never use Zoom. Now all of a sudden Zoom is the thing. So that would have been my newcomer because even though Zoom has been around, I think
Yep.
for like 4 or 5 years, this is the first year where everybody was using it. So that would have been my newcomer. But your newcomer versus it that changed the game. Like that's like it was a cultural event. Like we had I don't know why I can't remember his name right now. The quarantine radio, no, not quarantine radio. The DJ that was
DJ
doing
D Nice.
that D
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. So we
Club
had D
Quarantine.
Nice, exactly. We had Club Quarantine. We had DJ D Nice doing that at the beginning, which was great. But Versus just like took it to another level. It's like it took all these icons that like people love and to put them in that setting. I mean that Patti LaBelle Gladys Knight one, like come on, man. That joint was like, I mean, the one with Beanie Man and Bounty Killer, like that is
That's the
like
best one. That's the best one.
that's the best one.
It's not even biased. It's just
Yeah,
more like they were the first ones in the middle of the hottest part of the pandemic. We're like
yeah,
versus works better when both of us are in the same venue at the same time.
yep,
They're the ones who just like went past it and did it, man. Like
exactly. And it,
it's you know what I mean, like good for them, good for
yes,
them. And
and,
like John Legend, Alicia Keys was right on time.
yep,
Like right on Juneteenth, that was right on
yes,
time. Jeezy and Gucci,
yeah,
dog. How Gucci gonna do a diss track to Jeezy in Jeezy's face in Magic City about the time that Jeezy sent a dude to kill him and Gucci killed him instead? How you gonna do that? Like, dog. It's and it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. It wasn't about new music this year.
yeah,
It was about people going back to their old school, people going back to their favorite for comfort. That's why verses work so well. And well, when they start doing other genres, it's really a rap. Dog,
yes, yes.
like if Backstreet versus Instinct happens, it's a rap.
Yeah, if
Like
Backstreet,
it's yo,
that's going to break the internet. If Backstreet Boys versus
dog.
NSYNC happens, do you understand how many people are going to get on that? Nah, it's like this is what I'm saying. This is like it's such a simple like idea, but it's like the fact that it wouldn't have come out at any other time except for quarantine because the fact that people were home, we were stuck at home, we couldn't go anywhere, and the fact that like Swiss and Timbaland came up with this idea, and they're like, what if we took like two iconic people and just have them go song for song against each other? Wouldn't that be fun? And they took that simple premise and it blew up into something major where you're getting like I think I can't remember if the Brandy and Monica one broke the record, but it was something like 800,000 people at one time like watching it.
Gucci and Jeezy broke that.
Okay, Gucci and Jeezy broke it, so I think they got over like 1 million, right? But that's that's incredible that in this day and age with so many options, this is like the age of endless options, all the streaming options, that you can get 1 million people to sit down at a particular time to watch something on the internet. I had like my mom was calling me about the Gladys, and she like to figure out how to watch this versus thing. Like you had people that never even thought about streaming, that like were like the way that you were, GK, that were just purely cable people, and now they wanted to figure out this streaming thing because they had to see the versus event.
I didn't know what IG Live was before this, but that's how this started. Just a regular live chat that like any two people can do with their phones for free. This is anything two people can do. So today had thousands, hundreds of thousands, and up to 1 million people watching it. And then that parlayed into a deal with Apple TV quick.
Yep.
then that parlayed to a deal with YouTube quick. Like it's just, it's a monster. Again,
Yep.
our culture.
Yep.
Even during the worst of times, like we
Yep.
find a way. Come on, Fab versus Jada.
Yeah.
Snoop versus DMX.
Yes.
Dog, people are still salty about Ashanti and Keisha Cole not happening.
Yeah. Word.
And when you read the comments reading the comments is the best
Yeah,
part. Like you'll have the same room as like Oprah will be in there, Michelle Obama will be in there,
Yes.
Barack will be in there, Steph Curry, like all these people all the best that you could think of, but yet there's still gonna be ratchet comments, and we all have to read at the same time. Like
Yes.
the battle for the Bay that just happened, Too Short D40. Like why did somebody say, why does this room feel like a felony? And like it was just like man, like it's again, it's another thing that brings people together, man. And you know what? I mean, who else can we shout out real quick before we rock this out? Okay, so the richest people in the world, they had a good year.
Yeah.
So Bezos is 182 billion right now. This is net worth.
Yeah.
Musk is second, 127. He surpassed Bill Gates.
Yeah.
So Kylie Jenner, highest paid celeb in the world, and it's not even Cristiano Ronaldo is second, and he's not even close to her.
That's like, I mean,
I know.
That's, I mean, that's the world. That's how the world works. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. But hey,
that's
like,
where we're at.
Good for Kylie.
Yeah, that's where we're at, man. I mean, like Beyonce's leading the Grammy nominations. Good for her. Blue Ivy Carter has a Grammy nomination now. 8 years old.
Yeah.
Yep.
Amazing.
Take that. Major League Baseball is finally going to recognize Negro leagues in their stats.
Yes.
That's well overdue. That's well overdue.
Yeah.
Washington football team got rid of their name.
Long overdue.
Cleveland Indians soon to do the same.
Yeah.
Disney is not going to replace Chadwick Boseman for Black Panther 2. King T'Challa will remain Chadwick Boseman forever, as it should.
Yes.
Lewis Hamilton had a great year. Got to give him some props, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Know what I'm saying? Eddie Murphy had a great year. Can't wait for Coming to America 2.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait. That's going to be good.
Yo, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to Regina King, man. Shout out to Zendaya.
Yeah. Euphoria. Great show.
Yeah, man. And I got to give credit where credit is due. Like, Schitt's Creek is not new, but they dominated this year. That show is not new.
Yo, that show's been around for a long time. That show's been around so long. Like I said, I'm a wrestling nerd. I used to watch Impact Wrestling on a little-known network called Pop TV, and they'd always be promoting Schitt's Creek. And I'm like, what the hell is this show? And I would see a couple episodes, and it was pretty funny, but supposedly it got even better as time went on, and now it's blown up. Now it's on Netflix, and it was consistently like in the top 10 after it won all those awards. So, I mean, good for them to go from this little-known show on a little-known network, Pop TV, to being one of the biggest shows in the world.
Man, when they dominated the Emmys, I was like, what?
Right?
Like, what? Yo, Mike Tyson versus Roy man, 54, and he ain't fought in 17 years. Tell me why there's still nothing in any realm of entertainment, sports, or anything. There's nothing like Iron Mike Tyson in a boxing ring. Still.
Yes, still. That's, I mean, that, like, some people just have that magic, and Mike Tyson has that magic. Like, he's like, I mean, this is an era where people don't buy things on pay-per-view anymore. Everyone just streams or, like, whatever, because you don't have to buy. And that still got, like, over 1 million buys. Like, people went out to buy this to watch Mike Tyson, 54-year-old Mike Tyson fight. Like, it's just some people have that magic.
51-year-old Roy Jones Jr.
Exactly. It's just like
that. Man, y'all must have forgot. And if you forgot, you're going to learn today. Y'all learned that night. Mike Tyson, you can't teach stars, you can't teach legends. Mike Tyson's a living legend, and he ain't done.
No.
Man, I hope they give him a current fighter for real. I bet you he could be a current fighter. I bet you anything.
Well, a low ranked fighter. Let's not get crazy now. Like he can't get
not like Tyson Fury, you know what
yes,
I mean? Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like not like Anthony Joshua. Oh, Ruiz.
Yeah.
The Mexican dude who beat Joshua.
Yeah.
Tell me you wouldn't pay for that.
I would pay for that.
Tell me you wouldn't pay for that.
Yes.
And tell me you don't think Tyson has a legit shot.
I do, because I feel like Ruiz
throwing bombs with speed and ferociousness, like whoo.
Yeah. I feel like you're right. That I could see. I could see that fight happening.
Yeah, man. Shout out to young King Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
$503 million. And that's a bargain.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, man.
Half a bill. Nothing wrong with half a billion. That's
Yep.
can't go wrong with that.
Can't be mad at that. Drake now with the most top 10 Billboard Hot 100 hits all time.
Yeah.
With 40.
Listen.
With 40.
And
he was tied with Madonna at 38, but now he's at 40.
And I've said this before.
Yeah.
And I'll say it again. We need to appreciate Drake while he's here. I say the same thing about LeBron. Like, people sleep on these guys, and these guys are all-time greats. Drake is an all-time great. LeBron is an all-time great. And people that are too busy hating on them, because the Jordan fans hate on LeBron, the old school hip hop heads hate on Drake. These guys are greatness, and we're witnessing it before our eyes. And a lot of you are not paying attention because you're still stuck on the past. You can still appreciate the past and recognize current greatness. Drake is great. Like, I don't care what you say. The man is great. And it's not just because he can rap. He can. I know you don't want to hear it because he's corny and he's light-skinned and, and he's young and all this, and you still got in your mind what a rapper's supposed to be. But Drake is an all-time legend. Appreciate this man while he's still putting out music. Because guess what? He ain't going to put out music forever. He got different ventures. He got stuff that he's into. One day Drake's going to wake up and be like, I don't want to rap anymore. I'm gonna be a full-time actor now. Like, or whatever. And then he's not going to put out any more music. So appreciate this man while he's here, while he's still making music.
Yeah, man. Like, and we still got, who knows what's going to happen in the future. Like, hey, man, Harry and Meghan Markle left the royal family.
Yep.
That could lead to something. This is one of my big predictions. I think Andrew Yang's going to be the next mayor of New York City. I'm calling it. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm calling it now, brother.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff he says appeals to a lot of New Yorkers, so I could see it happening. And we all know, if there's one thing that New Yorkers can universally agree on, is everybody hates de Blasio. So that's if you're a New Yorker, you get that, because no matter what party line you're from, everyone hates de Blasio. So it's like, I feel bad for him sometimes, but then he does something and I go, see, this is why people hate you, de Blasio. So, like, it's just a matter of time until he's gone. But yeah, I could see Andrew Yang becoming the next mayor.
Yeah, man. Like, Nate Robinson has to have a better year next year. Yeah, man. Like, yo, yeah. Shout out to J-Lo and Shakira. They got 102 million views for their Super Bowl halftime show. Like,
yeah,
man. Like I said, legends are legends, queens are queens. You know what I'm saying? Man, yeah, Baby Yoda done dominated again.
Yes, he took over the world. I got my little Baby Yoda figure in the back right here. He's taking over the world, man. Baby Yoda taking over.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. And yo, just shout out to everybody we lost, man. Like, we didn't even scratch the surface.
Yo, it's so many people.
David Stern, Kirk Douglas, Katherine Johnson, Jerry Stiller. Oh gosh, Charlie Pride.
Yep.
Country's first black superstar.
Yep.
Tiny Lister.
Yep. That was crazy.
Come on, man. And those last two are COVID related.
Yep.
Oh, and just all the people who contracted COVID, man.
Yeah, that's what's crazy, man. It's
man.
When you look at
The Rock. These are just the reported ones.
I mean, when
Tom Hanks.
Yes.
That was the game changer. When Tom Hanks got it, bro.
Yes, that's when a lot of people, that woke a lot of people up. When Tom Hanks got it, people were like, oh shit, this is for real. If Tom Hanks, who has like one of the most celebrated and richest actors in the world, if he could get it, anyone can get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man. And just everybody who's just keeping our spirits and our culture alive, man. The Breakfast Club, Jesus and Mero.
Yeah.
Trevor Noah.
Yeah,
and all the other late night talk show hosts, David Letterman back on Netflix. Yeah, man, all the comedians. Man, it's again, it's collective. This human experience is collective. We're all in this together, man. If we've learned nothing else in 2020, I hope that's something that is more believable and something that we can all take into the next year, man. Because we're not gonna make it alone. We're not gonna do it alone. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, man. So that was
take on 2020.
Yeah, that was a good rundown. Jammies are all done. Like, we hope you enjoyed the jammies. We hope you let us know what you think. Like I'm going to put this on the we're going to put this on the YouTube. So feel free to put comments. We're going to put this on Anchor. Feel free to give us your comments. Hit us on our socials and let us know what you think. GK, give me your socials, man.
Yeah, man. We are. Yeah, I'm at GK Williams NYC. You is.
I'm at Jules XMW. That's on the Instagram. That's also on the Twitter machine. So feel free to hit me up on either one of those. Let me know what you think. Our Instagram is Julian and GK on Instagram. So yeah, we're gonna update that. That's one of my New Year's resolutions, early New Year's resolutions. I'm gonna get on updating our Instagram page with more content. We're gonna try this video thing out more often. We're getting used to it. I'm gonna try the graphics. Like I said, this is the first time. So if it looks a little rough, be easy on me, man. I'm getting used to this whole pandemic thing. I want to be there in person with my man GK. I want to be on, say it in person. I want to give him dap. I want to be there with him, but I can't. COVID. So we got to do it like this. So I'm trying to figure it out. We got to figure it out, and we're going to get it done.
You're missing out, bro. Plus, my new Glade plugins is lavender now. You're missing.
Gotta have them Glade plugins, man.
You're just missing a whole different vibe, yo. Yeah.
I look forward to once.
We'll be back on Spotify. We'll be back on Spotify soon.
Yes,
we'll be back.
I'm if anything, please, people, write to Spotify. I've sent 3 requests for them to put us back on, and I'm still waiting. And in the meantime, until we are finally back on Spotify, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Google Podcasts. You can find us on Anchor. There's so many different things you can find us on. Like if you type in Julian GK, you'll find us. But we are trying to get on Spotify.
Yeah, and if you want us on Clubhouse, invite us.
Yeah, invite us.
This joint is brand new, man.
Yes, it's brand new. I see all these people talking about Clubhouse. I don't know what it is, but I want to be on it. I don't know why. I don't even know what it does, but invite me, please.
I know Lakeith Stanfield be moaning on it. And,
well, I mean,
there's a Lion King musical that's going down, and people be talking.
You know what? I know. I take it back. I don't want to be invited no more after hearing about that.
And it's invitation only. So you want us there? You want us there? Invite us, man. We trying to spread love however we can. So
exactly. So thank you so much for watching this or listening to us. If you're listening to us on Anchor or any of our other podcast stations, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. 2020. Almost done. 2021 around the corner. I know I speak for man GK. We're hoping for a much better year in 2021. And we, once again, thank you guys for listening to us throughout this very trying, chaotic, crazy, insane year. We thank you for sticking with us through everything that we talked about this year.
Yeah, man. Everybody stay safe. Remember, tough times don't last as long as tough people. Yeah. And yeah, man. Be good to yourselves, kind to each other, and again, we got this.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
2021. Let's get it. We ready. Let's get it.
Yeah, we got this. All right, y'all. So for man GK, this is Julian, Jamaica Alpha.
That's right. You love to see it. That's right. No entanglements. Let's go.
No entanglements in 2021. Mm-hmm. All right, and we are out.